When you look at a LeBron 7 Retro, you just have to look at the LeBron 7 OG and compare and see how they've changed over time. But when you're looking at a LeBron 7 Retro of a player exclusive, just where do you look? How do you find out what was there before and what has changed in the new drop that's coming for 2020? And that's exactly what I've done for this video as we look at the LeBron 7 FAIRFAX for the 2020 release, the retro release, and we compare that back to the original that dropped 10 years ago for FAIRFAX High School. And we compare between the two, between the OG player exclusive from 10 years ago and this 2020 drop, and have a look and see what the differences are and what the similarities are. What I want from you is that you'll walk away from this video and you'll be able to list it right here on your right hand, all the differences between the original player exclusive LeBron 7 and what's dropping this year, the Nike Lebron 7 FAIRFAX 2020. This is a Tokyo About 23 sneaker channel. Tokyo About 23 sneaker channel. Des Mainichi Absurdo Den Mainichi Miti Kurosai. And every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I drop content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news and sneaker reviews. And what we're looking at today is the upcoming release on March 6th, I think it is, of the Nike Lebron 7 FAIRFAX 2020. They are dropping in... let's go with general release numbers, a player exclusive from 10 years ago. And I've done some digging around and had a look at the original sneaker and comparing it to this one that's coming and trying to find those places that are different and those places are the same. And today in this video, we're going to be going through all of those points on this sneaker. Now, there have been a lot of LeBron 7s dropping recently, and I'm going to put a link to a video right now of one of those LeBron 7s that has dropped recently. But what I always say in my videos is that these links, you don't have to click on them the moment I point at them. They stay there for the entire video. So click on that link at any time, and then at the end of the video I'll give you the ultimate link, and that will lead you back to all of the links that I've shown throughout the video, so you can check out any of the links at the end of this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw up the All-Star, which is one of the best LeBron 7 retros to have dropped this year. Hopefully behind me right here you can see that beautiful blue sneaker and that classic silhouette. I tend to think of the 7s as being when the LeBron line really started getting loco, and I know the 6s are great, I know some 5s are awesome. We've had Fruity Pebble 4s on this channel, we've had Stewie Griffin 6s on this channel, stuff like that. Of course there are iconic sneakers, but the 7s is when it really started to get going for me, and that All-Star, the blue All-Star, is a great sneaker and a great one to show you a link to one of the reviews I've already done for LeBron 7s. Another link that I can throw up, and you can check these out at the end of the video, you don't have to check them out right now, is the China Moon as well. I've looked at the China Moons as well. So this is the third LeBron 7 general release that I've looked at this year. There was another one which you'll be able to find in the link that I throw up at the end of the video, which is to a one-of-one Haiti earthquake charity LeBron 7, and that'll that'll be in at the end of the video. But what we want to do today is we want to look at this OG versus 2020 and see the differences and the similarities between those two sneakers before the drop, which is coming up in about a week's time. So we're going to start off high and we're going to work our way low. Now, one of the classic features, the signature features of LeBron 7 sneakers, that top eyelet on there, the metal kind of triangular eyelet on there, and on the OG, I'll show you it right here. There's a player exclusive from 10 years ago, and you have a look at that. It says it's in silver, that metal silver. I was going to say metallic silver, the metal silver on there. But then if we have a look at the upcoming 2020 version, you can see no difference at all. They're exactly the same coloring, exactly the same detailing, exactly the same design. That is going to be a theme as we go through this, because basically you're going to find if you travel down a bit on the sneaker and have a look at the mid-foot, you can see that mid-foot panel on there that has the fly wire running through it, and it's a black mid-foot panel with yellow fly wire. No change from the OG to the 2020 drop. Black mid-foot panel, yellow fly wire on it, and then you don't go too far as we're on the lateral side to get to the large swoosh in yellow. Now it's a big, can we say a big deal? The swoosh is in red, I should say, but the outline is in yellow, and that outline element on it is something that people have been sort of pointing to as being a distinguishing feature of the sneaker. But we're going to stop right here for a moment and talk about this colorway and why are we looking at a black shoe with red and yellow detailing on it. And that's to do with the actual title of the sneaker is FAIRFAX High School is what's missing from that, is the FAIRFAX High School. This is the away color for the FAIRFAX High School. Now the original color or the home color is more of a white design than this black away kit. But what I really like about the white version of these, which were also a player exclusive, which are not, as far as I know, dropping, is that the flywire was vertical only, or at least the detailing on the flywire was vertical only. And hopefully behind me here, you'll be able to see a picture of those LeBron 7 home FAIRFAXs in white colorway with just the vertical flywire on the side. But then if we flick back, that was a terrible click of the fingers. Let's try the right hand. That was a lot better. If we flick back to the away kit blacks, you can see that that flywire is kind of crossing over there on the midfoot panel. It is black and it is in yellow, but I do prefer the home kit version. That's just me. But we've already talked about that swoosh. We're on the lateral side with the large swoosh in red with the yellow detailing around the outside of it. We'll travel back a little bit to the back of the sneaker where you see that stud on there, which is kind of a signature feature of LeBron 7s, and it is a yellow stud with black detailing. No change between the OGs and the 2020 version. So far on the lateral side, all the distinguishing features, the top eyelet, the flywire, the large swoosh with the outline, and then the stud on the back, all the same from the OG player exclusive to the upcoming drop of the 2020 retro. So then if we flip these guys around and have a look at the medial side, maybe there's some differences on the medial side of the sneaker. And you start high again with that eyelet in metal there at the top of the sneaker. No change from the OGs to these ones. Come down onto the flywire, no real change. No real change from the lateral to the medial, really. Where the changes come in between the lateral and the medial are on the swoosh, whereas on the medial side it's an embedded yellow swoosh that's embedded in the sneaker, whereas on the lateral side it was just a printed on red swoosh with a yellow outline. So here we are on the medial side, and you can see that embedded swoosh there. It does perhaps have a little difference between the OG and the retro versions in that the quality of that swoosh and the quality of the yellow within that swoosh is a bit more pumped up for the 2020. 10 years later, maybe it's got a little bit more technology behind it, but that's kind of the only detail where I'm finding a difference between the two sneakers. If we travel back from that medial swoosh to the back end of the sneaker, on the lateral side you have that yellow stud with the black detail on it. On the medial side, what you've got is the FAIRFAX High School printed there in yellow font with the red outline, which is the opposite of the colorway for the lateral swoosh. The lateral swoosh was a red swoosh with yellow outline. This FAIRFAX detailing on the heel is red, yellow writing with a red outline on it. And it's the same as the OG as well. So we've traveled kind of the length of the sneaker, top to bottom, medial and lateral sides, and really there's no difference between that OG player exclusive from 10 years ago and this upcoming release of the 2020 retro. And basically, if we pan back out and look at the whole sneaker, there isn't really much difference that I can see between the two. You've got that flywire in the upper, then you come down to sort of the lower half of the upper with a polished kind of leather on there. I'm pretty sure it's not patent leather or patent leather, as some parts of the world say. I think it's just buffed up kind of shiny leather, shall we say, buffed up leather, but it's not patent leather. And then down into that full, length of the foot air unit on there. If you flip them upside down as well, I'll just give you a quick look at the outsole, that classic kind of, it looks like a medallion in the center that the colors sort of come out from, and usually in two colors on LeBron 7s. It doesn't seem like there's much of a difference between the OG and the retro that's dropping real soon. In fact, I can't see a single difference between the two. And so I said at the top of this video that what I want for you to do is to come away from this being able to tell me what all the differences are between the two, because I knew it would be easy for you to say there are none. As far as we can see, there are no differences from the OG from 10 years ago, and then here we are with the retro. I might be wrong in that. Sometimes I am wrong in the things that I say about the videos. about the sneakers. There you go, look, I just made a mistake. And I always leave the mistakes in, and if I am wrong, I don't mind people mashing it up with me in the comments down below, so please feel free to do that. And speaking of comments down below, I've been going live recently a lot in the mornings to talk about how the coronavirus is happening and being dealt with here in Japan, and then the sneaker content still comes, excuse me, still comes daily at 7 p.m. and this is the sneaker content right here. And I don't want to mix the two. I don't want to use my sneaker content to talk about the coronavirus. So we'll leave that aside. And if you want to check out those morning lives, please, join us. A lot of comments, a lot of traction in the live chat from those lives right now. But anyway, this LeBron 7 retro of the FAIRFAX High School player exclusive. It looks like they're basically an identical sneaker. I don't see a difference between the two sneakers and in their detailing and their design and their colorway and anything like that. And that, to be honest, I think is a mistake. What? Yes, I think it's a mistake. I think it's a mistake for them to have the identical sneaker drop when a player exclusive is a grail to certain people, and there needs to be something unique about it. There needs to be something special about that shoe. If you retro it perfectly, it kind of defeats the purpose. You need to have that kind of grail unicorn element on there. So for example, that stud at the back there, the yellow stud with the black detailing, why don't you reverse that and have it as a black stud with yellow detailing, or reverse the colors on the lateral swooshes from being a red swoosh with yellow outline to a yellow swoosh with red light outline, or something like that, just to give a little bit of difference between that iconic grail and then the kind of general release sneaker. I think that's a better way to go. I'm sure there are certain people out there who are agreeing with me because they're into the sneaker market and they know that the player exclusive price is going to tank as soon as they retro the sneaker, and this is the first retro of that sneaker. So you can kind of understand in a way why some people would be upset with it. Personally, for me, it's more not about the money, it's more about just sort of respecting the original and recognizing what the original was and letting that lie, as it were, and then a few little changes in the update to distinguish between the two. But enough about that, enough chat, enough talk about the sneakers. I've got many things to do. I'm a busy man if I'm dropping twice live in the morning and a sneaker drop in the evening. So I'm going to have to get off and go do things, but thank you guys for checking out my content. But as I do this every single day, I said I do in every single one of my videos every day that I drop this final playlist up here that I'm going to point to in a minute. And if you click on that, it'll bring up all the other links that I've talked about in this video, and clicking on one of those links to find another video of mine is a great thing to do. So without further ado, let's click to the rarest sneakers in the world in hand. Ding, there's that playlist there. And then if you click on that, you'll see all the other things as well as that playlist, and go ahead and check those guys out. But for now, time for me to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out my content. But as I do this every single day, that means that you guaranteed to see me tomorrow.